welcome to the BHOPB Network and Week 16 of the Weekly Huddle. We are your recovery team, and we have a special guest today. Actually, you know what? I'm Randy Grimes. No, I'm not. I'm Vance Johnson, actually standing in for Randy Grimes. And we have a special guest today, Paul Fletcher, former Major League Baseball player and Phillies, right? I don't know very much about baseball, but I do know you were a quarterback. No, you were a pitcher. And the only difference between a pitcher and a quarterback in the NFL is quarterbacks play every down the whole game, and you guys play every 4 or 5 days, Paul?
Depends if you're a starter, yeah.
Depends if you're a starter or not. So are you saying in baseball you can pitch like every game?
If I'm in the bullpen, yeah, I can pitch about every day.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got here at BHOPB.
Well, I'll tell you, I went through our BAT program. Major League Baseball's got a nonprofit called Baseball's Assistance Team, and when I retired from baseball, I basically became a professional drinker and hit bottom, and reached out to our BAT, and BAT, we have a contract or agreement with BHOPB, so we got together. They sent me here, and fortunately, was able to stay, and life is great.
Awesome, bro. We sure appreciate you joining in with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having us.
And I know you watched a little bit of football. In fact, we were talking off camera. You thought about playing some football, but you had to make a choice. But since you threw that 95-mile-an-hour ball, it wasn't too much of a choice to make, was it?
Yeah, my chances of making it to a professional level was definitely in baseball.
And who's your team? Who's your team in the NFL?
NFL, I like Steelers, Eagles.
Steelers? I hate the Steelers. You saw what they did to my Broncos last week.
Yes, sir.
So did they have a chance to make it to the playoffs this year?
Absolutely. Big Ben's getting a little bit better. I mean, he's coming around. He had those injuries, but also his timing's getting there. And, what's it, Brown?
He's unstoppable.
They got a combination there that they just get on a roll.
You don't think the Broncos just gave the game to those guys? I mean, if you look at Osweiler, he got hurt, so he couldn't play. They gave up a lot of points, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the game, here you are with Pittsburgh down, almost 20 points, and they came back in the fourth quarter and scored all those points.
Yeah, they actually got lucky near the end. I know Ben threw a pick there with 2 minutes left, and then they got lucky to get the ball back near the end. But, they'll be all right.
And speaking of Broncos, Chris, what do you think about Peyton Manning, man? Is he gonna come play? I know he's a little bit upset about some comments that were made. What do you think?
I think he will. I don't see how this can be a topic. If the guy is healthy, come on, this guy's the face of the NFL for how many years? Numerous of years. And I feel, I understand that this young boy, he's coming in. He have to wait his turn.
Yeah.
This the granddaddy right here. This guy, he need to get in there. I think he can take Denver over the edge because he has that veteran leadership. He know how to get out there in the huddle and calm them players down. That young rook coming in now, I'm seeing his eyes probably big as golf balls.
But is he healthy?
If he's healthy, he need to play.
It's really funny. The guy's hurt now. He hurt his shoulder, and so for some reason, when you hurt your shoulder, it's going to show the type of player you are if you can go back out there and play. Is that right, Big Matt?
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I actually didn't watch the game, but I agree with Chris. If Peyton's healthy, there's no reason in the world why he shouldn't start.
Yeah. Mac, I had a question for you. We talked a little bit off camera again, and we were talking about the Odell Beckham situation, and you were mentioning how he was just an insult to the league and his antics. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Right. I was watching the game Sunday, and some of the antics that Odell Beckham did, they were despicable. He was an embarrassment to the NFL by some of the actions. Cheap shots is a better term to use. The cheap shots that he was taking towards players, which could have actually ended some guys' careers. And that's not called for. You go out there, being in the NFL, it's a brotherhood. You're all in the same union. You go out there, you play hard, but you never go out there to try to end someone's career. And the shot that he took by peeling back and hitting this gentleman head to head was uncalled for. It was very cowardly, and I've lost respect for him. I've lost respect for Tom Coughlin, head coach, and for Eli Manning. First of all, Coughlin should have taken him out of that game way before this happened. Eli Manning, who is supposedly a leader on this ball club. You saw what Carolina did.
You're in the fight. You're in the fight of the fire right there. You got to understand, these guys have the bio of you as a player, and they already said this boy Norman is good at getting up under your skin. You remember, you go back to training camp. You remember Cam Newton went after him.
Point being,
they a fight. You got to
point
understand it's the
being,
heat of the
you
moment,
the
man.
key word here is you never.
I don't feel like he
never-
tried to hurt.
Yes, he did.
Guys,
This
I'm
guy
going to throw
intentionally-
a wrinkle. I'm going to throw a
I
wrinkle
really
in this
don't.
whole thing. I had a chance to listen to XM Radio. I was listening to Stephen A. Smith and also Deion Sanders. And guess what they said?
I don't know.
On the sideline, and these are credible witnesses, this guy was being called racial names. He's being called
Threatened
gay.
with a bat,
He was
everything.
being called gay. He was being called Michael Jackson. He was
Yeah.
being called a ballerina. And this was off the field before the game even started. They were talking about him. If you go out there with someone calling you names, we don't put up with that crap and behavior up the Palm Beaches with our clients.
But you know the ironic thing about this, they're calling him all his names, but they were playing in New York. So I mean, it's kind of hard.
Oh, so when they play in New York, there shouldn't be a problem?
No, we're talking about his home crowd.
Okay, let's talk to the expert. Let's talk to the cheap shot
Wait,
expert down there. What do you
right
think?
quick. Let's ask this right quick, Mike. During the heat of the moment in the game, when you out there and ain't no player got up under your skin.
I would
You
never-
regret what you did.
I would never intentionally.
Let
Let Sean kick in here. He's a cheap shot expert when he was in the NFL. Tell us about your
Well,
thoughts.
I agree with both of you guys. I think the hit to the helmet, I don't think that was intentional. I think it just happened to fall that way, hit him in the head. But you had two guys, young guys, who were being very, very competitive, and that's what you do, especially at wide receiver and defensive back. Man, that's you got two guys on the island trying to establish themselves, two guys at the height of their careers. They're playing very, very well. They're getting a lot of notoriety. So I think, you just had two guys. Now, everybody's focusing on Beckham, but this guy was doing some stuff too, man.
True.
This guy wasn't just sitting
absolutely.
back.
But the question
he was
is,
slamming Beckham.
should he be suspended? And you
Yes.
can ask Paul, if you hit a player with a baseball, I don't think they're going to suspend you the next
Well,
game.
I think because of the hit to the helmet, yes. But I think the way they're building this thing up, I think it's a little bit too much. You had two guys who were just playing, being very competitive across the look. Beckham was frustrated because this guy shut him down for the most part. He was frustrated. But at the end of the day, I don't think the helmet hit was deliberate. I just think when he peeled back, the guy just happened to be right there and he just happened to hit head.
We all obviously have different opinions about that. So you used to be a cheap shot artist yourself. But let's talk about Super Bowl. Guys, hey, who's going to be the pick? What are your predictions for the Super Bowl, Chris?
Oh, that's a tough one right now. I'm not really sold on the Panthers.
Yeah, you got your head down. I figure you don't know who's going to be there.
I wish it was my Eagles,
Yeah.
but I got to look at it.
Outside chance for the Eagles?
Now, I got to roll with the Patriots.
Mac, who do you got, baby?
Carolina and Patriots.
Carolina. You think they're going to go undefeated?
Yes.
Carolina undefeated.
Yes.
I like it. And how about those Jets? They have a chance to get in?
Of course we do, but I'm gonna go with the Patriots in Carolina also.
All right, and Paul, we know you play a little baseball, but I know you
Yeah,
have
you got
someone
a good
you're
pick.
rooting for.
I like that pick too, the Carolina and Patriots, because I think Carolina's going to go undefeated, and that's coming from a baseball guy.
You know what? I'm going to go out there on a
Knowledge.
limb, and I'm going to tell you guys, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be in the Super Bowls this year for the AFC. I don't know.
Well,
if they're
hold
gonna
on,
win it, but I think
you've been talking about your Broncos.
we'll be right back, right after this break.
That's a long line.
Oh, he been talking about the Broncos all year. Going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden,
Oh, man, he going to sneak that in on us. Hell no, you going to get it. Oh, he going to get it. His fans going to tear him up on that Facebook.
I remember walking out to the gate, and I stood there, and I looked up into the sky, and I said, really, God? Really? This is how you want me to get well? You want me to be around a whole bunch of guys that are sick, that I don't believe are like-minded like me, that aren't looking for sobriety the way I'm looking for sobriety? And I heard a small voice said, yes, Vance, you have to get well amongst the sick because you're just like them. And welcome back to the Huddle. We are your recovery team. We want to send a special shout out to our normal host, Randy Grimes, and say Merry Christmas to you. We know you're out there in Texas,
Christmas, Big
having a
Bubba.
good time, enjoying your family. So we miss you, buddy. We'll see you next week sometime. Hey, former West Virginia boy, and I know you had a chance, you know about this guy, Stedman Bailey. Got shot in the head. He went back to the Rams and had a chance to speak out to the team, talking about his life and the decisions that he's made. And hopefully one time, if we get a chance, we'll bring him here to be a part of the team. Maybe we can get him inside BHOPB.
That'd be awesome. I know Stephen Bailey and Tavon Austin both were at the same time at West Virginia. And, me being from West Virginia, I grew up watching those guys. And Stephen Bailey right now, if he can get here, it'll be the best decision he ever made in his life.
Absolutely. And Lamar Odom, you hear big news about this guy? He took 3 steps and actually recognized somebody at the hospital. I'm not sure how much that is, but you guys think his career's over after that?
Oh,
Career?
It's got to be
Career
done.
wise.
Career wise,
Yeah.
certainly.
Done.
You think?
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Absolutely.
Done.
He was on a downward spiral anyway, so I think his career was probably over before this.
That's true. You know
Well,
what?
it's-
You know, I'm just happy that he's alive, and hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery and go through rehab and really get his life in order, because I think that he has a strong message that he can send to these young people, and he truly could be a great example.
You know, speaking of young people, and 26 coming up, and the recovery team, us specifically, being rehab coaches now, all of us are going to be out there really trying to help people and educate these kids, especially. And you're in the front line with these high school
Right.
kids, and you've opened the door for us to go into one of the West Palm schools to start speaking. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. We were very fortunate I've been volunteer coaching at Forest Hill High School, where we had the opportunity, all of us, to meet with the principal there, and we're going to be speaking to the class at the school in January. So what I'm hoping that we can do is possibly get into the Palm Beach school system, where we can actually go to different schools, share our experience in terms of in terms of our drug and alcohol addiction, how it affected our lives, not only our lives but our family lives, and letting the kids know that there's an out. You don't have to be 57 years old or 47 years old to realize that you have a problem.
And speaking about schools, I had a chance to travel with none other than Paul Fletcher back to small town West Virginia, and we had a chance to talk to thousands, and we did a short clip actually that I showed on my Facebook page. We had over 31,000 people see this video. Talk a little bit about the problems and how drugs are starting to cross that border from Ohio right to your community.
Yeah, it's a huge issue right now. And one thing, when we went up there, the response that we got was amazing. I mean, we had a lot of young kids
Thousands
come
of
up
kids.
afterwards, and 16-year-olds that were, needing help for heroin.
Yeah. Using.
Active using, yeah. And friends, they knew it, but they really, really responded to that, letting somebody know that, these guys have problems. I mean, everybody comes home, and they see it in their families, and they really don't have anybody to talk to about it.
Wasn't that amazing how we saw when we asked these kids, and we had that one auditorium with almost 1,000 kids in there, and we asked them how many of them was affected by drugs or alcohol in their home, whether a mother, a father, uncle, grandparent, somebody that's affecting them in their life. How many hands go?
Everybody raised their hand. It was
Just about everyone
about.
raised their hand. So it shows that this epidemic is crossing this whole country and starting to just destroy us. You look down there at you, Chris. Sean, you had a chance to grow up in the inner city.
Right.
What made you decide not to get involved in addiction with alcohol, with drugs, or any substances?
Well, that's a tough question, because I really don't have a definitive answer for that. But I tell you what, it's just, I've seen so much of it, like you said, growing up, firsthand. Right now I have, today I have 5 young cousins in their early 20s are dead because of this addiction, in their graves right now. And this is my mother's sister's kids. So I've seen so much of it, friends, all that, and I just got to give, glory to God, man, because that's the only thing. I'm not any stronger than anybody. I was heavily influenced. I hung out with a lot of these guys. Even my high school football team, I tell you, most of these guys played high. And the reason, I can't tell you, anything concrete to say, hey, why didn't I get involved? All I know is I didn't get involved. And then when I got into working out, that became my drug of choice. Yeah. That's always been my option, no matter what's going on in my life. I ran to the gym.
Right.
But
you were also career oriented. You knew that there was life after football.
Yeah. It was big for me when I went to college to get my education. I just didn't go to be a football player. I wanted to. Of course, my goal was to get to the NFL, but I also had a mindset of getting my education. I was the oldest of my mother's 5 children, so I wanted to be that role model for my brothers and sisters, and set the tempo. I was the first one in my household to even go to college. So that was important to me, to get that degree and show my sisters and brothers that you can, make it, and just continue education from that. One of the biggest thing I did, and I know you guys know, when we played, we had some time off. Yeah, not like football is all year round now. We had a little time off in between, training camp and all that. I would always go back to my high school and volunteer, kind of like what Mag's doing, but I went to my local high school and I was in the classroom. So I was, kind of being a teacher's aide, or, I would take over the teacher's class or whatever the case would be. And that kind of got it going, helping young people, wanting to have that desire. Because I truly believe what we're doing now is what it's all about, going back and reaching to the younger generation and let them know, because we have an in as athletes, And people don't realize we have it's almost like an automatic end to talk to these kids, and these kids will listen to us.
Yeah.
So we tell them our story, let them know, hey, yeah, we've been there. This is the road that you will go down if you stay on that road. This is your end result. So let's not go down that road,
right.
and that's why we're here.
And Chris, you grew up in this area, West Palm. You've had a chance to speak to a lot of high school kids. You even get into recruiting some of the kids for some of the local colleges around the area. How are you going to just continue in 2016 to start educating these kids and letting them know this is not a path that you want to choose?
Oh, definitely not, because you got to understand, it's a lot of temptations out there. It's way different ball game when we was in school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like you said, it's heroin taking over, the marijuana is leading to other addictions, the alcohol. I guess, the point I've been taking, just letting them know, hey, I've been down that road before with the drinking and dabbing in drugs.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not cool, because it's going to lead to other things that you might can't get your life by.
It's really interesting. You being the father of a young college football player, you've had a chance to influence his life, and as a result, this kid is not involved in those traps and pitfalls from addiction.
Yeah, of course. It's one thing I let them know daily, that you can always come talk to me. I know the temptation it is from playing on that high level in college now, because it seems like their job's on the line, even when you're in school on a scholarship, because they looking to replace you. That's what I tell them. I say that's the same way it is in the NFL. In college now, the way these coaches are, the years that they getting out their contract, they have to produce you guys. If they ain't producing you guys, I know that you can go be looking at. So I know that steroid use, and I know that it's the drug use. I say, hey, please come talk to your dad about all that stuff, because hey, I'm here to be your father first.
This is definitely terrorism on our country. Now, I would suggest that these presidential candidates really just take this under their wing and look at doing something about this and educating this whole society about addiction and how it's starting to destroy and ruin lives. We'll be right back.
Behavioral Health of the Palm Beaches Recovery Center for Men provides quality, evidence-based treatment to men battling addiction. Offering medical detox, expert counseling from licensed clinical therapists, and activity-based therapies, we help men overcome their addiction and rebuild their lives. We understand the unique substance abuse issues that men face and are ready to help you take your life back. Visit rehabformen.com to get your fresh start.
And we are back, and now we're going to talk about football. Oh, I don't want to talk about my Broncos. But we're going to start out with the Broncos. That way we can just get past it. Broncos will be playing against the Bengals at home. I'm a little worried. Osweiler, I don't think he's going to be playing too good. I'm not sure if they're going to put Peyton Manning in the game or not. I am not voting against my Broncos, so I'm going Broncos at home. That way Kansas City doesn't find their way into the playoffs, and obviously they're shaking their head. But let's talk about those Eagles. You got a chance?
Man, we grounded right now. We grounded right now. Hey, to be honest with you, it's a nice rivalry. Eagles, Redskins come to Eagles. I feel like the Eagles will take this one.
Redskins, Eagles. Okay.
Redskins, Eagles.
Sounds good. What about you, Paul? Who's your team? Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh over Ravens, man. Even though they're playing in Baltimore, Pittsburgh's going to win this.
Why do you think they're going to win that game?
It's a tough game. Usually they're banging it out, but I think Big Ben's going to pull it through for me.
All right. And those Browns, it looks like they're trying to get that first pick.
We've done a great job of getting the first pick. But as I mentioned earlier, our season is over, so certainly I feel that Kansas City is going to win, but hopefully we'll continue to lose and we'll be able to get the first pick for the upcoming draft.
That's right. And those 9-5 Jets, Jets, Jets. What do you think?
Oh, no, we're going to beat the Patriots.
You think?
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
You kind of whispered that. I don't know how confident you are,
man. I wasn't too confident.
We're going to beat the Patriots. I think the Patriots are hurting right now. We're playing pretty well. I think we're going to beat them.
All right.
This is big implications for the playoffs and where we're going to be seeding and all that. So we're going to win without a doubt.
He's got a fever, guys.
He does.
Yeah, he has a fever.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And our big game, the game of the week, is going to be the Redskins and the Eagles. The Eagles is a must-win for them to get into the playoffs. But what about those Redskins? Can they do it, Sean?
Yeah, I believe the Redskins can. I like the Redskins. Nobody gave them a chance at all, even when the season started. Everything was Philadelphia and everything. And I mean, these guys have fought. I mean, from the beginning. And look, and they're in a good position. I mean, the division is not that fantastic, but I'm picking the Redskins here. I think they're going to continue to pull through and get themselves a spot in the playoffs.
You picked the Giants last week. The Jets last week, actually. They lost against our boys. So.
No. Jets won, and the Giants almost beat Carolina.
Okay, that's
Almost.
right. I'm
Almost.
sorry, I was off on that one, wasn't I? How about you, Matt?
I'm picking Redskins. Kirk Cousins, this guy, he has made a believer out of me. This kid, he won the starting position and has been a great leader on and off the field. So I think that the Redskins will win this game. As a matter of fact, I hope they win this game.
Paul, talk to me.
You know, I hate to go against the Eagles. I like the Eagles as well, but I'm just not believing in Bradford right now. And even though they are playing at home, I'm going with the Redskins as well. Even though it's going to be a really, really tight game.
Well, you know, I'm staying with the Eagles. You know,
Even though
I
that they're
believe
grounded.
I got to believe. Hey, we might soar.
They're grounded.
We might get DeMarco Murray more than 2 carries this game.
And I'll tell you what I think. I think it's going to be a close game. But right now, we all know because we played in the league, everyone's trying to play for next year's job, brother. There are a lot of players who have to really shine this week. They have to win, not only win this ball game, but they have to make some plays happen. I think the Eagles are the team that's going to be ruffled up at the end of the season. So I'm going to have to go with the Eagles. Someone's going to try to make the team next year,
true.
and they're going to do that with a victory this week.
That's true.
I
Absolutely.
think Vance got to beat him, man.
You think so? Hey, it's every week, guys. We like to talk about this, but we want to wrap it up by saying that there's help out there, and we can help you. You can reach any of us on our Facebook page, or you can reach us at bhpalmbeach.com. Again, at the end, there's going to be a screen that comes down, and our Facebook page is how you can reach us. And we'd love to come out and talk to your schools, reach to your communities, and just talk about this problem in addiction, because something has to change. Make that your New Year's resolution.